It's not always how it looks. In Jeremiah chapter 29, around verse 11, the prophet said, "For I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you." You know, sometimes when we're going through a difficult period in our lives, we can look at where we are at a moment in time and begin to determine certain things about our lives based upon what's going on in that season. And I understand why we do that, because we're only human. And sometimes it's hard not to get caught up with the things that are happening to you at any given moment. But as a Christian, we're called to understand and realize that just because my life looks a certain way, that doesn't mean that the plan that God has for my life has changed, or that God is not with me in this difficult season. When Israel looked around at their condition, they had been displaced from their capital. Their city had been burned down. Their temple had been burned down, and they were living as foreigners in the nation of Babylon. And I could understand why they would come to the conclusion that God is done with them. He's no longer living in the temple that we built for him. And now we're here in Babylon as a result of constantly refusing to listen to the prophets that God had sent to us. But God spoke to them clearly and told them, listen, even though you're there right now, I still have great plans for you. Don't get caught up in what you're looking at. Listen to the things that I'm telling you. You know, the Lord did the same thing with his disciples, because he knew what was going to happen. He told them ahead of time that he was going to be arrested. He told them that he was going to be put on trial. He told them that he was going to be crucified. He told them that he was going to die, and that 3 days later, he was going to be raised from the grave. Now, he told them that ahead of time so that when they would begin to see these things, they wouldn't get discouraged. Now, unfortunately for them, they were more caught up in the things that they saw, and they didn't rely as much on what the Lord had told them. We can't be like the disciples. We can't be like Israel. We've got to listen to what God has said to us. And if God has made certain promises to us, I don't care what our life looks like at any given moment. If God has said it, trust me, he'll bring it to pass.